My beloved child, tonight, I don't want to talk about your future first. I don't want to talk about blessings. I don't want to talk about miracles. I don't want to talk about breakthroughs. Because before I speak to your future, I need to speak to your heart. The real heart. Not the version people see. Not the version you post online. Not the version that says I'm fine. The real version. The one that carries memories. The one that carries disappointment. The one that still thinks about certain moments when nobody is around. Because there is something about you that most people don't know. You learned how to hide pain. You became so good at hiding it that even the people closest to you stopped noticing. You learned how to smile while hurting. You learned how to laugh while struggling. You learned how to encourage others while feeling empty yourself. You learned how to tell everyone you were okay when your heart was asking for help. And after doing that for so long, you started believing nobody would understand anyway. So you carried it alone. My child. I saw every moment. Every tear you wiped away before someone entered the room. Every night you stared at the ceiling. Every prayer you whispered. Every disappointment you swallowed. Every fear you kept hidden. I saw all of it. And I never stopped watching over you. Let me tell you a story. There was once an old clock hanging in a small house. For years it worked perfectly. Every second. Every minute. Every hour. It never failed. Then one day it stopped. The family tried fixing it. Nothing worked. Eventually they removed it from the wall and placed it in storage. Years passed. Dust covered it. People forgot it existed. One day the owner's grandson found it. Curious, he carried it to an old clockmaker. The clockmaker examined it carefully. Then he smiled. "It's not broken." The boy looked confused. "What do you mean?" The old clockmaker replied, "It stopped because one tiny piece became loose. Everything else still works perfectly." Minutes later the clock was running again. My child. For years you've been calling yourself broken. Because of one heartbreak. One disappointment. One failure. One betrayal. One season. One mistake. But what if you're not broken? What if you're simply hurting? What if the reason you feel different isn't because you're damaged, but because you're healing? There is a difference. A huge difference. My child, there is a burden you've been carrying. Not physically. Emotionally. The burden of pretending. Pretending you are okay. Pretending you are not worried. Pretending you are not lonely. Pretending you are not disappointed. Pretending you are not scared. Pretending the pain no longer affects you. And pretending is exhausting. Because eventually the mask becomes heavier than the pain itself. You wake up tired. You go to sleep tired. Not because your body is exhausted. Because your soul is exhausted. Because carrying hidden pain requires energy. And you've been carrying it for a long time. Too long. There was once a little girl caught in a storm. Rain poured from the sky. Thunder shook the ground. She ran through the streets crying. Terrified. Lost. Alone. Eventually she saw a house with a light on. She ran toward it. An elderly woman opened the door. Without asking questions, she invited the girl inside. The girl sat by the fire, wrapped in a warm blanket. And for the first time all night, she felt safe. Years later someone asked the girl what she remembered most about that night. The rain? The thunder? The fear? She shook her head. No. What I remember most was the light in the window. My child. For years you focused on the storm, the heartbreak, the loss, the disappointment, the pain. But I need you to remember something. There was also a light. You survived. You made it through. You are still here. The storm was real. But so was the light. And the light never left. My child, can I tell you something? The tears you cry when nobody is watching matter. The prayers you whisper matter. The nights you spend fighting fear matter. The moments when you almost quit but didn't matter. Because those moments reveal who you really are. Anyone can keep going when life is easy. Anyone can believe when everything makes sense. Anyone can smile when everything is working out. But continuing when you're hurting? Believing when you're confused? Trusting when you're disappointed? That is faith. Real faith. And you have shown more of it than you realize. My beloved child, there is a future version of you that exists right now in my plans. A version of you that's healed. A version of you that's peaceful. A version of you that's smiling again. A version of you that's no longer carrying this weight. A version of you that understands why all of this happened. And if that future version of you could sit beside you tonight, they would take your hand, look you in the eyes, and say, please don't quit. Please don't give up. Please don't stop believing. Because everything changes. They would tell you about the prayers that get answered, the peace that arrives, the healing that comes, the joy that returns, the chapter that begins. They would tell you that one day the thing you cry about now becomes the reason you inspire someone else. My child, one day you're going to be sitting somewhere. Maybe in your car. Maybe at work. Maybe at home. Maybe watching the sunset. And suddenly, a memory will cross your mind. The heartbreak. The struggle. The disappointment. The season you thought would destroy you. And for the first time, you'll smile. Not because it didn't hurt. Not because it wasn't difficult. But because you'll finally understand. You'll understand why you had to grow. Why you had to wait. Why you had to learn. Why you had to survive. And tears will fill your eyes. Not tears of pain. Tears of gratitude. Because you'll realize something beautiful, the thing that almost broke you, actually built you. My beloved child, the pain you never talked about. The wound nobody saw. The battle nobody understood. The tears nobody noticed. I saw them all. And I promise you this, your story does not end in heartbreak. Your story does not end in disappointment. Your story does not end in fear. Your story does not end in loneliness. The chapter ahead contains healing, peace, joy, purpose, and a version of yourself that you cannot even imagine right now. So keep walking. Keep praying. Keep trusting. Because the pain you've been carrying is about to become part of your testimony. Type, God is still healing me. Share this with someone who is silently carrying pain. Subscribe for daily God-inspired messages of hope, healing, and encouragement. Remember, the pain you never talked about, God never stopped listening to.